All right. And it's
Hi,
jam
Brian.
packed here.
Oh yeah, man, you're taking up all the space, right?
Okay,
So
it's a great
we have
time
four
to
registrants.
do so. So I had an issue. I sent you an email, Ron, of just replied to one of the ones that you sent, so maybe it didn't get to you. But
Okay, let me look it up. Go ahead and walk me through it, but I'll look
so
at
I
the
tried to
email
get
too.
on the try to enroll or sign up, for the promotion on Monday of the accountability, and try to do a firm, and it wouldn't let
Mhm.
me. So
Okay.
and why? Um,
Yeah, they don't tell us why either. They usually will tell you what like the limit is. So they'll
yeah,
say like, hey, this is the credit limit that they will give you, or they'll finance it up to this point. You have to pay the difference,
right.
something like that.
Yeah, it didn't say that at all. It just went to um or to say you can't give you a loan or whatever at this time. So I didn't think it happened so fast that I couldn't even check my excellent credit score that fast. Because I didn't provide anything but my name and email address. No, you can't get my credit score from that. And my
Gotcha.
phone number is not going to give you my credit score to evaluate anything. So I just found it a little odd. So I thought I'd send you a note, if you knew someone on the inside or something, because it has nothing to do with,
Yeah, I mean, so
funds or anything. So,
the things with Klarna or Affirm,
mm,
they're all decided. Like we don't even talk to them. It's just
mm,
an option. Just like if you had a problem with your Visa card, I couldn't call Visa.
yeah, yeah,
Do you see what I mean? So they don't
yeah.
even give us a chance to even talk to them at all.
Okay. Yeah, and
I
that was
wish they
before
did, but they don't.
that was
You know
even
what I mean?
I didn't even get an opportunity to like select an amount. I think there's like four options. There's one for 36 months, whatever, and then 12 months, and then the 6 months. And I was going to do the 6 months, but it didn't give me an option. So it's like $833 for the 6 months. I forget what the 12 was, and it was like 36 months for 400 some dollars. So it didn't give me an option to even do that. So I don't know how they came up with no.
Yeah,
It's
let's
coming
see.
down here $400 a month. I'm like, what? Or eight or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the situation is with them.
okay.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I don't think it's
I'm trying to
working
hold
from
on
my
to
side.
cash. I'll figure something out, I guess. And then the other one, I forget what the other one's name is. I think they don't provide an option for that doesn't require a percentage rate. And there's 19.99 or something like that.
Yeah, I think, and here's the other thing: there's no payment penalties with those either. So if you paid them off early,
Yeah,
you don't incur those
yeah,
that
yeah.
fee.
Interest.
And also, I think PayPal has um, 1 year zero interest. So I can send you that if you want to do it through
Okay.
PayPal.
Yeah,
They
send me
have
that.
one, yeah, they have 1 year zero interest.
Yeah, send me that.
Yep. 1 second. Jadika, how are you?
I'm doing good, doing good.
That's incredible. That's good to hear. Super duper 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 good to hear. Any particular questions you have for today?
I was a good student. I wrote down a few questions, and one of the questions are other services needed in addition to Speaker Hub? And this question is based on the services that were being offered by the speakers on the summit.
So I think it depends on what you feel like you're missing, right? But in the summit, there wasn't really a strong pitch for any
Right.
product,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we didn't allow them to say, "Hey, we can make your, you know,
Sure.
thing do this." We didn't want any of that. We wanted them just to give you the information that was needed. In my opinion, if you're now starting to get on podcasts and things of that sort, you're going to learn so much just from doing those interviews that
Okay.
you'll be able to decide what else you need. So as you start reaching out to the local associations, those small groups of 50 to 100 people that'll be at those meetings, um, they usually don't have high demands. They're usually just happy that somebody's willing to come talk to their group
Right,
on a
right,
topic. Does that make
right.
sense?
Yes.
So I wouldn't overthink it. I would just, stay doing the activity that you're doing. And then if someone asks you something that you don't really understand, hop back on and ask us or send me a message. And then we just help you as you go, because trying to predict what you're going to need, what's the old saying? 95% of the things you worry about never happen, right? 95% of the stuff we buy thinking is going to make it better, we never use it. It's like, dude, I bought all this crap and I used it once,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
yeah, I used to have a thing I called the 30-day rule. And the 30-day rule, because most stores will give you 30 days to take something back. If I bought something and I didn't use it more than twice in 30 days, I just took it back.
Got you.
Because a lot
Got
of
you.
times you get that dopamine, oh man, I got this new camera. And then you don't take no pictures. You're like, I'm taking this camera back.
It's the shiny object syndrome.
Yeah. And it feels good to buy something new.
It does.
But let me tell you, it feels really good to go get your money back.
Yes, sir.
You're like, man, I got this camera I'm not even using. It's $1,000 just sitting there in the box. And then in 3 months, they come out with a new one. And you're like, man, I bought the old one and the new one just came out for the same price. It's like, dude, but that's my opinion. I think it's better to wait until they request something in particular. And then if you need it, then some people say, hey, can you send us a speaker one sheet? Cool. We'll help you with that. Right. Some people say,
Okay.
oh, can you send a speaker reel? Cool. Figure that out at that point if you don't have one right now.
That answered my question. My next one is, what should be the main focus for a person using SpeakerHUB and the Speaker Flywheel, in
Yep.
addition to doing the podcasts and things like that?
Yeah. Outside of pitching, that's it. Pitching is the main
Okay.
thing. So I want to talk about something today that give you all kind of a preview of this webinar I've been working on. And the cool thing about it is that we've simplified this so much, right? And we're calling it the SPACE formula, right? And SPACE means you need a strategy, you need to pitch, and you need accountability. That's SPA, right?
Mhm.
If you do that, you would have consistent engagements. Now, here's the thing that we have to do as speakers. We have to be very careful with how we categorize speaking gigs, right? Now, let me give you an example. I'm going to use the recent presidential election. I think the largest event that Donald Trump did had about 70,000 people in Madison Square Garden. The largest event that Kamala did had about 60, 70,000 people also. Okay? Those are live speaking events. Does that make sense? But hold on, I'm going to show you something really quickly. And Bart, I didn't forget about you. I just want to, I'll get you that link before you leave today for sure. Okay? But I want to go into YouTube. And if I put in Trump, Joe Rogan, this one podcast that came out 2 weeks ago has 49 million people that have watched it. 49 million. You see that? It's about to cross 50 million probably today. How
Right. You
can
see
he
the
put,
first comment?
nope, what did it say?
Podcasts
Podcasts
are
are
officially
officially
more
more
important
important. Yeah, I've
than
been saying
traditional
that for
media.
years, right? The world used to be controlled by these what we call megaphones, ABC, CBS, Fox. Now it's controlled by microphones. the small groups that can get in front of the people you want to get in front of. So he could never put 49 million people in a stadium. Does that make sense? Now, it ain't just him. We come on here. Now, watch this. These are her official remarks on her official page, 349,000 views. Where can she put those people in the stadium? But watch this. She went on Club Shay Shay. That has 1.6 million, which is bigger than what's on her own official page. So when we go on podcasts, they're probably going to have a larger audience than what we got on our own stuff. So we got to be respectful to the types of platforms. And we say, oh, I want to do live. The largest group of people most people have spoken in front of is 75. But we get upset when a podcast only has 600 listeners. You ever put 600 people in a room? It's a lot of people. Does that make sense? So I think as speakers, sometimes we categorize things as better than others. But if I asked any speaker if they had a choice between speaking live for $50,000 or going on Joe Rogan, they all would go on Joe Rogan. Because millions of people are going to see them and their product on Joe Rogan. Is that fair, Bart? Right? So the types of stages that you go on is what, we can't be biased. We can't say, well, these are more valuable than those. To you, but not to someone like me or to someone else. Find your own value in the stages that you go on. I love talking in small groups, right? The reason being is I can talk directly to the people. I can talk directly to you and answer your question. And it feels like it's just me and you for the 3 minutes we talk. If it's 30 people in the room, I can pick out the ones I want to talk to and just have back and forth. If it's 8,000 people, I can't do that. Right? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't like certain things other than others. I think we as speakers have to give the credit where it's due to podcasts and what they bring to the table, to small groups and the number of clients you can get out of a small group setting, and to the larger groups where we can get the cool pictures in front of the big stage, but also the magazines where while I'm not speaking, I can get consistently $1,500 to $2,000 a week for an article. It's no different than McDonald's. They got the Big Mac, they got the Quarter Pounder, they got the Egg McMuffin, they got the broken ice cream machine, they got the McFlurry, the fries. You're one store that should have different products. That's my general thought. Make sense? So keep going. You gotta just keep going. One isn't more valuable than the other. For every one person that says, oh, they paid me this to show up. I did a virtual gig and did an unreasonable amount of money that I don't even want to talk about publicly. That I know nobody who's using SpeakerHUB has ever gotten paid. I know what Les Brown gets paid. I talk with him weekly, okay? I know what he gets paid for a speaking gig. I made more on a webinar than what he gets paid to show up to speak at a virtual event on someone else's stage. It wasn't even my event. Do you see what I mean? But if I would have asked them to write me that check, they'd have said, man, we can't pay you that. But I was able to go get it on my own from my product. Is that fair? So for every person that says, I make this doing that, there's somebody over here like, I make this doing that, and I do this over here. And I find your lane, find your formula. So, space. Need a system. The flywheel is the system, right? That's the system that makes it work. The P, you need to be able to pitch. You need some way to send out pitches consistently without doing a bunch of research. You need accountability. You need to be able to come in here to us every day. When you run into a problem, hop back into it and talk with us about it. Right? So that we can help you get to that next thing. So I can give you that high five when you get booked on a podcast. Right? So I can give you the virtual hug when you do well at that TED Talk or whatever you're going to be working on. Right? That's accountability too. That's, like the expectations. I sent the pictures, he gonna ask me. Or I sent the pictures, I'm gonna go tell him. That is accountability. That's a part of accountability, to be proud of each other. Right? But why do you do SPA? Because you want consistent engagements. Right? Yep. Consistent engagements. S times P times A equals CE. That's what we call the speaker success formula. And it works at no matter what level of speaker you are. Let me tell you why it works. Bart, if you have a routine on a daily basis, right? You have a system that you follow. And you have accountability, but you have no leads to pitch. How valuable is your setup?
Not valuable at all.
Not valuable at all, right? Janika, you got leads and you got a system, but you don't have any accountability. You don't do it on a regular basis. How valuable is that system? I think she's muted. Either she pitching. She may be over there pitching.
I don't know if she heard you call out her name.
Right? So, but yeah, if you're missing one of the three, it messes up everything else, right? If I got all the leads in the world and I know how to do it, but I never do it, it's a waste of time, right? If I don't have any leads, I'm wasting my time. If I got the leads and I'm just randomly doing something consistently every day, it's not as powerful than if I followed a strategy. Like in football, I can't just say hut and just hand the ball off every time. I got to have my people blocking or doing some things. I can't run the same play all the time. It'll look like chaos, right? So that's why we wanted to build these frameworks for you guys. I see we got an Ohio State fan over there. That's it. Go Buckeyes, Titletown, right? So,
Hey,
Tanya,
Tori.
how are you?
I'm fine. I'm in a conference, and so I decided to step out because I want to give you guys a win. So I was pitching on Monday and not Tuesday because I was traveling. And I pitched to a podcast and I got a response last night. They want to have a conference. Yeah. So I was like, oh my goodness, listen, I need to tell them that. So I stepped out of this conference. I said, let me just jump on. But you know how we were pitching on Monday, right? Mm-hmm. I was traveling Tuesday. Yeah. And so I think one of the podcasts said that they think I'd be a great fit and want to have a conversation. So I think it's working. Awesome. And so
I know it's working. You got the results. They don't think.
Well, yeah, it is working. And so now I'm going to be, I think I'm going to be doing more, association and conferences as well, too. So, yeah, but that podcast was interesting. And then at this conference that I'm going to, is a B2B conference, which is it's called Bold House. It's really good. And one of the things they talked about is that in order for you to get in front of your idea, clients and, that kind of thing, do podcasts. They talked about podcasting. They talked about going to industry conferences and industry association. And that's how you can get in front of the right fit audience, because that audience already have the people there for you to pitch and speak to. So I thought that was timely.
There it is. I mean, look, there's nothing better than hearing the same thing from multiple people.
Right. That's a number one thing they said.
One person saying it, you could be speculative unless he discovered some new chemical or something, right? Mm-hmm. But when you start hearing multiple people saying the same thing and everybody who's associated with those people are getting the same outcomes, it's hard to argue with it. right?
Yeah, it was, and so it was a great validation, because if you're going to be thought leaders, you got to go where they're at. And that, like I said, podcast was the number one. Then they talked about industries, and because they have the platform for you to talk about you, because that's how you can get found. So I thought that was really, really, in alignment with what you guys were talking about as well. So kudos to you guys for knowing
They
what
probably
works.
stole that from us. You may be at a conference with our customers.
But Bowl House is always, on
I'm
TV.
joking. I'm just joking with you. They may be stealing my stuff. People be biting my style.
But I did see, since I joined the Facebook, is it PR?
PR
PR
pitches.
pitches.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw a lot of activities out there. So I'm like, let me jump in here and see what's happening.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, thanks for joining.
That's us. PR pitches is us too. But no, I'm glad you hopped in to share that. That means a heck of a lot.
Yeah, I think it's the game changer, because oftentimes we think that we have to get on these, and stages are good, but it takes some time, and then you're competing with a lot. And then I think I think all of it is good. I think that should be the strategy moving forward. And as a speaker, and I've been speaking for a decade, all I thought, you just get on stage. I had a podcast one time, but I never thought about, hey, let me get on the podcast, because they have they already have the audience out there for you. You just got to go and do what you do. And I never thought it that way. I always thought, you got to get on the stage, and they call them speakerpreneur. I mean, I don't want airplane money like that.
Well, I mean, it's the one thing I always tell folks: no matter what stage you get on, you got to be good.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be what you said you were.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, they're gonna find out real quick, right? So, we want to make sure that, hey, no matter where you go, if you perform, you should be able to get the outcome that you expected. And so, no, I'm excited. I'm glad you got booked. Did you hear about what happened with Jadika yesterday, Tanya? I think she may have left.
No, I'm not still here. No, I didn't.
Jadika, you want to share what happened with you? Go ahead and unmute. Tell us what happened with you with your pitches.
I did a pitch yesterday morning, and I did 6 pitches yesterday morning. I mean, I did 21 or something pitches yesterday morning, and I got 6 responses back yesterday for podcast interviews. So it works.
Incredible.
And I did this. Awesome. I did this morning, and got 2 more this morning.
Congratulations. That's huge.
I'm on a mission. It's working.
Yes.
That is super duper 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 incredible.
Has anybody done anything with associations and conferences?
Yep. Yeah, they just don't come to this meeting.
Oh.
Right. That's what happens. People don't be coming to the meeting all the time. I mean, we got 62,000 customers, right? So they don't always show up at the meetings, but I'll show you one. I'll give you an example. Let me see if I can share my window here. And I used this as a testimonial the other day, because, let's see. I think I spelled her name wrong. 1 second. Can you all see my screen here?
It's little, but I can see it.
Okay, I'll zoom in a bit, right? So it may be she may have texted it to me. But say Ron sent me a message, and she says, "Hey, Ron, I ended up going on this podcast, and then it ended up turning into a speaking gig."
Wow.
And let's see. I'm trying to find the messaging. But that's really what happens, right? It's like, if you do the work, everything ends up turning out the right way. But most people don't do the work. So they get upset. I'm like, how can you be upset? You didn't do any of the things you were to do. Here, let me see if I can bring this up here. So 1 second. All right, here you go. Bart, I put the link in your direct message directly to you. Let me know if that works. So look, this is Saran. She sent me a photo of this, right? You see this? Can you see it, Tanya? Can you see my screen or no?
Yeah, I can see it.
Right. So you can see, she says, hey, I'm excited. I recently pitched Blissful You Conference and my application to speak at their event in 2025 was approved.
Wow.
Right. And then she introduced me to the host of the conference. She was like, look, y'all should talk. Right. Here's another one of our clients that we email for. You know, a brief call coming up over the next few weeks would be great. We have a women in food and culture brand, and we'll be recruiting speakers for our October event in Chicago. Right. Here's another one. Thanks for reaching out. We'd love to meet you for an introductory call regarding our 2025 conference.
Wow.
Right.
So these came from podcast. These came from podcast, or just
these
speaking?
Are speaking gigs.
Okay.
These are speaking. This 2025 annual conference, our upcoming Chicago event, Women in Food and Culture Brands, Blissful You Conference. These are just, these are people who want to talk about coming to speak. This isn't podcast, right? Celebrate with me. Just secured my first out-of-state speaking opportunity, all expenses paid, right? This person had never been paid to speak before, right? This is a corporate consulting thing I helped someone with back in September. This is someone we got into Forbes, right? Kabanzi just got picked up by Business Insider. I mean, this is just what we do. Another podcast, another article in Business Insider. I mean,
so can you help with
so
can you help, I know they have HR Success Magazine. So that's a part of what, pitching to write or just being the podcast? Because I'm trying to have a strategy together.
No, it's part of, one second here. So when you go in, and this is something we're gonna be sharing more recently, very soon. And I was talking about the SPACE formula earlier today, right? Where you need a strategy, you need a pitch, and then you need accountability, right? And if you do that, you get consistent engagements, right? But when you come over here to media, these pitches, these templates here, they were written by Kamanzi. These are the same templates people pay $1,000 a year to be in that group. The same ones. They're no different. He wrote them. We own the company together. So he's like, dude, let's put my templates in there. I write for 90 publications. Use my template. So he gives you the template. You just got to go in and customize the topics. You see that, Tanya, or no?
Yes, I see it.
Right. So this is different because the AI doesn't know the articles that you've written.
Okay.
But when you're pitching a magazine, they need to see examples of your writing to see if you even fit their style.
Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is master podcast, conference, and association, and get ready for I have a strategy for the writing.
Yeah, but that's what we teach. We teach that. That's the plan you subscribe to.
When you say teach it, so you say when you teach it, what does that mean?
Meaning that this is what we suggested that everyone do. If you're on the experience plan, which is the one you signed up for the trial, it gives you access to podcasts, associations, and conferences.
Right, and I understand that, but the media, isn't that different?
Yeah, but you said you're going to focus on these for right now, which is what we think you should do.
Right, okay.
Right? Because once you build a habit, it's like, okay, you can go to the gym, right? And you don't go to the gym and do every machine in the gym.
Right.
You do a few of them, and then you come back and you alternate and you do different things. This is what we suggest. You should be reaching out to at least 2 podcasts a day, 3 associations, and 5 conferences.
Okay.
If you do that consistently, this is what you should be able to expect. 48 conferences, 12 associations, and 4 conferences. 48 podcasts, 12 associations, and 4 conferences.
Okay.
This puts you in the top 10% of all speakers in the world. The average speaker worldwide does 5 gigs a year.
5?
Yes.
Oh.
People ain't speaking as much as they acting like they are. They be lying.
I do know. Yeah, and you know, I know that. But I you know, for a year, I do about 24 a year, sometimes 12.
So this puts you here at 16.
Okay.
If you go like for full-time speakers, they're probably going to be doing 30 gigs.
More than that, I think. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying like this is like the minimum for a full-time speaker.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Like the minimum baseline, they're going to be trying to speak at least once a week or once every other week.
Right. Okay.
And if they're getting $3,000 to $5,000 from that each speaking gig, that's a 6-figure job to fly around and tell the same story over and over.
Right. Right.
Not that bad.
No, it's not.
Right?
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So this is, someone like you is probably going to be speaking part-time because you have a consulting business. You
Right.
have the HR business to run.
Right. I don't want to speak that much. Right.
Yep. So that's why that one says part-time. If you see that, we call that the part-time speaker formula.
Okay.
Right?
So,
so in our accountability that we're doing, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at these numbers and measuring the results, right? We believe you got to find your own formula, but these are just the averages.
Okay.
Does that make sense? But
yeah,
high five on what you got so far. Like that's the way to go.
Yeah.
But start reaching out to associations and the conferences, and you'll start seeing people respond to all of them. We've booked every type of stage.
So let me ask you, when I was looking at the conference, do I need to just pick the ones I like? Because you can go down the list, ABC. I mean, I don't want to do I want to look at the conference and see if there's even in alignment. That's the strategy, right?
Yep. But and again, when you log in, and if you filled out your branding kit properly, where your topics are correct, you see mine here. I'm going to take some of these out just to kind of show you.
I see.
I'm just going to take that out and I'm going to put hockey in here. Right. So once I pick my topics and it has my bio, when I click on conferences,
it's going to pull up one.
It's bringing up the ones that are relevant to me. You see, it's baseball.
Okay. Got it. That makes sense.
You see what I mean? Basketball, you see CTE, all these different things are coming up because that's relevant to what I talk about. And then I can override it and type in sports.
Okay.
And it's going to bring up all the sports conferences.
Okay.
Is that fair, Bart? Jadika? Right? Now, you want to learn more about it, Tanya? You just click on it and we give you a description of it and we tell you the person's name and in which month. Here's the thing about conferences. You don't want to be pitching a conference that happens in November right now. You should be pitching some stuff for the summer of next year.
Right. 2025 is what I'm pitching.
Yeah, so you come in and you change the season.
Oh, okay. I didn't do that.
It's going to bring up the ones that only happen next summer. So at least you 7 months out in your pitch.
Okay. Oh, this should be really good. I'm sure I'm going to have some more to talk about.
Yeah, we're here every day.
Yep, I know.
Single day.
Okay.
Yep. No, this is cool. Yep. Any other questions?
I'm good.
Cool. Perfect. Bart, I put the link in the chat in the Zoom. I don't know if you got it.
Yeah, I got it. I'll work on it once we get off of this.
Yeah. Let me know if it should offer the PayPal financing in there.
Yeah, it popped up as PayPal only.
Yep. Yeah, and it should say like PayPal credit once you log in, and you should be good.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll get on it as soon as we get off of this.
So I want to go back to space. I want to go back to you have another question about something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to talk about the space formula, right? Because having a system, again, isn't enough. We all, oh man, I know what to do, but we don't do it, right? Having the data isn't enough. It's the accountability. It's the ability to come in. Here's what I learned about accountability. You get the most out of somebody by celebrating their wins and other people's wins. It's not by talking down to people. It's not by saying, why you didn't do your stuff? You didn't, no, that's not what it's about. It's about saying, hey, I want to make a safe environment that when someone's at a conference, busy doing something else, they're so proud of what they accomplished that they're willing to take the time to say, I got to go tell them that their stuff actually works. I actually trust these people now. Right? That's what the accountability is about. It's about really celebrating and then inspiring someone else to say, well, man, I don't think Janika is any better than me. I could send them pictures if that's all he said do. And then David Eddy said all he did was send them to and he got booked. But it's that ability to come in and have someone to cheer with you. But when you feel like, wait a minute, I think I'm doing too many podcasts. I haven't sent anything for the actual speaking gigs. We say, no. Do that too. You gotta divide them up. So we're more your guide and your cheerleader than anything. We're not here to hit you over the head with a stick, right? But we do believe that we should hold you accountable to what your goals are. David said something the other day. Bart said something the other day that I thought was incredible. You know, he found camaraderie with Sergeant Roy. And he said, look, I want to be with him because I don't need none of that soft talk. I need somebody who's going to put me, is going to talk to me like I would talk to them. And I think that that's respectable because that's a self-awareness to know where he sits, right? But there's somebody else who may be a little bit further behind and may need that little aggressive push, right? I'll tell you one of the best things ever that happened to me as a kid. I was raised in a house with single mom, right? And I learned to express anger like my mom and my sisters express their anger. They just get emotional, they scream, they do all this. And one day I was like 10 years old, and one of my uncles said, boy, you keep acting like that, somebody gonna kill you. Because I couldn't control my emotions. I didn't have any manly examples of how men express their emotions. Now, if he never said that, I don't become who I am because now I took that to heart. I don't want to die because I don't have my emotions in check. But it took someone who was further ahead in life to be that example and have the courage, love me enough to say, hey, nephew, I care this much about you. You got to get better. He didn't just say, you acting like a little girl, you doing that. That wasn't his approach. His approach was, here's what the outcome's going to be if you don't change. That's accountability, guys. That's what you had in the military, Bart. Ange, that's what you had when you was dribbling the basketball and dunking on people. Ange could dunk a basketball, right? That's what she had. She had accountability. Somebody had to hold her accountable. You don't become a Division I basketball coach if no one's ever held you accountable. You just don't get the best out of you. So that's what we're bringing here. It's going to scare a lot of people away. I know it is, but it's going to get the best out of the best. That's what this is about, right? Consistent engagements. Not an engagement every once in a while. Consistent. That's what we're trying to get for you guys, man.
Put a caveat on.
Oh yeah, let's talk.
The opportunity to work with Sergeant Roy versus someone else. I trust whatever you choose for me. Let's put that out there. I know Roy is going to give me the bottom line up front, just like you do in this forum. Every day it's the bottom line up front. I don't need the fluff, just get right to it. Bart, you're not doing the work. You're not going to see the results. So whatever they say. So, but your bottom line up front. So I put a caveat on it as that's really, what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah. And here's the thing, guys.
Some people might
have
say
flexibility. There's some flexibility in you all being able to pick who you want to work with, right? That's there. But I want to make sure that we don't end up creating a buddy system where people aren't getting better. So I'm going to pick somebody I'm comfortable with, right? Like if I were to start going to the gym, I'm not going to pick one of my other friends who wasn't going to the gym to go to the gym with me. Neither one of us have the discipline to make it work. I got to pick somebody that's been going for the last 6 months or a year consistently first. So then they have some evidence to hold me accountable. Does that make sense? One of my buddies, he's a famous music producer, and he was here visiting me in Colombia last summer. And he posted a photo of him yesterday, and he weighed 265 pounds last year. Right? I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna show this because I think this is incredible. Let me see if I can find it. And let me see. Now, he's not a coach or any of that, but he got the results. Let me see if I can find this real quick. All right, let's see. Hopefully you don't have nothing crazy on his Instagram. All right. So let's go. All right, so this is him here, right? You can see he ain't in the best shape, right? This is new thing, right? So this was a few years ago. He took some of his other stuff down. This is him now. That's consistency. 80 pounds. Right? And he's even in better shape now. He posted something yesterday. I said, dude, like, you just straight gym rat now. Let me see if he still may be up here. Right? Oh yeah, he took the workout things off. But to see someone lose 80 pounds is ridiculous. Yeah, he doesn't have them on there, but he had some gym things. And I sent him a message and said, man, that is freaking incredible. Somebody was holding him accountable. Right? So that's what this is about, guys. I mean, somebody holds me accountable. All my employees. They do. Hey, can you get me this? You said you was going to get me this. You didn't send me this. You were supposed to finish this thing. Like, oh God, this is bananas. But yeah, that's how it works. Anything else? Any other questions? Any other comments,
Ron,
concerns?
Lethea just sent a message in the chat. So she's going to hop in and a few others are going to hop in
Okay,
as well.
that'll be great.
It's about the link. Will you let everyone know about the link for the meeting?
The link for what meeting?
We'll go back to the other link starting tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be at the top of the page still though. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll put it in there. We're gonna go back to my original room. So it'll be my original room because they won't let me do two rooms at the same time. I thought that if I had to hop off, Ange could handle it, but Zoom has some restrictions. So we're gonna eventually go back to my regular Zoom room. And that's the room you and I were in earlier today, Bart. We're gonna be there on a daily basis. It'll be at the top of the homepage. For those that are watching, you can click the link at the top of the homepage and you'll always be put into the room for the daily meeting.
Ron, I have a question.
Yep.
Okay, and that question is, how soon should you start doing your follow-ups, to, the podcasts and all
Yep.
that you sent
The
out? How
next
soon
day.
should you do follow?
The next
The
day.
next day, okay.
Yep. Yep. The next day.
Okay,
Right? The next day.
got you.
The
Okay.
reason being, you don't need to wait. Send them another one. Go ahead, click follow up, click the button, follow up right away.
Okay.
Right? We don't let you follow up the same day because then that becomes kind of like a stalker.
Sure,
But 24
sure.
hours, once it lets you follow up, you should be following up.
Okay, okay.
50% of your results will come from that follow up email. Let me show you an example of this. Let me see if I can pull this up. That's my calendar for today. That's not what I wanted to show. Let me go to Mailshake. Here it is, already open. So I'm going to pull up a campaign here, and I'll just pull up something old that isn't relevant anymore. Something that's archived and Odell. Right? So let's do Odell's clients. And I'll show you what I mean by this. You'll see. So let's look at Raheem, right? So we reached out, we did 500 pitches for Raheem. You see that? 343 of them got opened. 43 people responded to him, but not on the first pitch. So we can see the first pitch, how many people responded? 25. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
We just sent the same follow-up, nothing different, 18 more responses. So he would have missed 18 opportunities if he only sent the first one.
Gotcha.
I promise you, if we sent a third one, he would probably get another 10 or 12.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We've done it enough to know that 3 to 4 pitches, 3 to 4 emails is right around the maximum that you'll get. Like that'll maximize what you're doing. I'm going to show you another example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at Pam Ellis. And, you know, the work we did with Pam Ellis was incredible. She only pitched associations like the Girl Scouts, stuff like that, National Charity League, stuff like that, right? So let's pick this Jack and Jill one, right? Again, we reached out to 482 Jack and Jill chapters for her to go talk about scholarships. 161 replies. 1 out of every 4 people we reached out to replied to her. But not the first time. The first time, how many? The second time, how many?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in this case, we did it. We replied within 5 days, but this was years ago, right? We learned that 24 hours, just that time period in between, the closer you can make it, the better off you are. Because when they look in your inbox, they look in their inbox and they see, oh shoot, I missed 2 emails from this person. What's this about?
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But you can see 50% of her leads would not have shown up if she didn't follow up. She would have left 90 opportunities on the table just because she didn't follow up. It's the same people. We just sent them a follow-up email.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I mean, I can keep picking. I got a gang of these that we could keep doing the same stuff, and it's the same thing. You know, let's look at Alex. Alex has education conferences. First email, 49. Second email, so far, 15. Right? And the follow-ups are still going out for the second one because they all haven't been sent. Right? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we consistently know. So that's one of the things that, you know, that makes us different than everyone else. We're not telling you to do something we're not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I send these emails. So I know, hey, you probably don't want to say that. Here's what happened when we followed up. Here's how this worked. When we waited too long, nobody cared. Here's how you do this thing. So we're showing you real campaigns. I got campaigns going all the way back to 2016. Make sense? You know, well, do you get booked for the big ones? Yes, we do, right? Let me show you. I'll show you John Lawson. John Lawson is called the Shoestring King, right? John Lawson, Ecom, right? We put him in here. This is John. John speaks everywhere. All these are speaking conferences with John. You see him? He everywhere, right? Now, why is that important to me? Because John was our first customer that trusted us to send pitches for him. He was like, yo, man, I heard you got this thing. Let me try it. And I didn't even know what to charge. he was like, dude, I'm gonna send you $300. Just do something for me. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me try this out. Now look at the date. This is January 17, 2020. This is our first paid customer. Right? And he said, fine, I want to try the best conferences. He was like, I can get on these little ones. I need these big ones. So let me show you the people we reached out to. So we reached out to like marketing profs. I won't show it on here, but I'll show you the results. 1 second. So out of those 69 emails, we got 20 responses. And it was from TED, Forbes, TechCrunch, Inc., Moz. These are the top conferences in the world. Well, you can't, they don't just let anybody speak at the Inc. I know, they don't. But guess what? Jasmine said, hey, John, thanks for reaching out. Here's the application. No way in the world you would have found this application. Does this make sense? You want to see the fancy pitch we sent, Janika, Bart? Hey, I found Inc. 5000 and y'all still looking for speakers. He didn't even say what he talked about. This is what I said. It's like dating. It's like, yo, are you single? If you ain't single, don't matter. He got 20 responses from that. From, hey, y'all still looking for speakers. Why? You know why I wrote that? Because I didn't know what else to say. I had no clue. I had no clue what to say. I'm like, I'm just going to do what I know naturally. Let's just ask them if they still looking for speakers. Right? That was Inc. Let's go to Forbes. Yeah, here's the speaker submission. You're not going to find this link. They only give it to you if you reach out. And he was reaching out to the women's conference as a male speaker. So, moral of the story is, feel free to argue with me. I'm just going to present the data so that you can argue with the data. Right? It's hard to argue with the results. So, Lethea, good to see you. Malachi, good to see you. Ann McNeil, good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, life is good. Life is very good. What's up?
I'm typing my question in the chat if
Ask
any of the others have. Okay, wonderful. So I so my team member and I, we spend time trying to get all of our accounts set up. So we're now, we're ready to pitch. I'd already started pitching. I did like 49 pitches. Then I did a training call with her, and we were trying to get her going. And what I noticed is when she's pitching, because I gave her the task, I trained her and I said, I need you to do 250 pitches this week. That's our weekly goal. I'm going to be doing some, but that's what we need to hit. And what I'm noticing is we did her first one, and it's showing up with her. It's showing up like when you look at the pitches of where we are, what the standing is or whatever. It's not attributed to my account. It's attributed to her account. So is there a way to have that? Like she's on my team helping pitch for me. Is there a way to have the numbers and the numbers all reflected under my account? So I can
Since
just
she's
look
a
at one
sub account,
report.
we didn't even think about that.
Right.
No, we need to
Yeah,
fix
'cause
that.
my
Yeah,
numbers
okay.
is like kind of split. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
got
that
it.
was
Hey, Ange,
so
can you take notes to tell Miguel to only show pitch results for the team admin, not for all the pitches need to go up and get credited to the team admin, not to the sub account user. No, that's a big deal. We didn't even think about that. Thanks.
Yeah. So then I was just gonna say, because I needed her to pitch last week, and I was traveling, and so I was like, let me just give you my login. But I was like, wait, that's my Google. So no, you can't have that login.
Yeah.
So she ended up not pitching this past week. So I think I either.
But do you have? She don't have her own team account.
She has her own account, but if she's pitching, it's not going to be reflected on
Yeah,
the.
but
Like I can't log in and see my. Like if I look at how many pitches and I want to look at the
yes, you
metrics.
can. Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought it looked like it was attributing them to her.
No, I got you. Yeah, it's going to attribute it to her, but you can go in and see what's happening. Right? So let me show
Do I
you
have to
really
log
quickly.
in as her?
I got you.
Okay.
Give me one moment.
Okay.
I'll show you. Right. So I have to do this on PictureDB because I don't have team members on my SpeakerHUB account. But
Okay.
it's the same
That's good.
software, just a different logo. Right.
Okay.
When you go to team, you see it shows you all of your team members.
Uh-huh.
And there's a button that says log in as that member. All you do is click that. And now I can go in and I can see exactly what Georgette has been doing for me.
Right. But if I want to look at my, like I'm thinking of it as a company. If you back in my account and I'm looking at the metrics of how many pitches did we do, how many responded, those metrics, I have to log into two different places and pull numbers from two different places versus those numbers reflecting in my master account, the main account.
I know. I totally understand what you're saying.
Okay. Because I know how to do that. I figured, right.
Yeah, the thing that you pointed out is that we're attributing those pitches that are sent by your team member to her own, under her own name on the leaderboard.
Right.
But you want them under your name. And we can just fix that. That's not a problem. That's easy.
And I'm hoping that if you log out of this account and go back into the other, that when we go to what's like, if I go to the where is it? It's where you can see, is it branding kit? Where you see your metrics, like how many.
Yeah, we'll never mix those together. Because people in agencies, they have different team members that can't have those mixed. We can give you the numbers, but in order to see it, you have to log into that person's account.
So I do have to pull data from two. Okay.
Until we reintroduce the dashboard, yes.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, all you're doing is clicking one button to log in, clicking pitches, and looking at what was sent. Right. I mean, we're talking about a 30-second task.
Yeah.
Right. So that to try to think through the logic of that, until we introduce dashboards, this is just the way it has to be for now.
So I'll basically just ask her to send me her metrics at the end of the week. How many she pitched, how many responded, all of that. So I can
that shouldn't be a problem. Again, that won't be a problem if we could attribute everything over here to your leaderboard.
Right.
So we could solve that immediately, but doing a bunch of other type of programming, we wouldn't invest in that right now.
Okay. And I think if you can do that immediately, that's great, because I'm delegating the pitching to her and I'd rather see it attributed to me and my company. And the other thing, I'll just have her give me her like at the end of the week, send me her numbers and I'll roll it into my numbers, or I'll log in if she's not available. So that makes sense.
We're working on a dashboard. We're just trying to find the most efficient way to do it. We had a dashboard before, but it was just a bunch of numbers that nobody ever paid attention to. So we killed it, and we're going to re-bring it back when we think it'll be more effective.
Okay. And I want to give her an ETA because I'm going to just pitch under my account for us until it will reflect that. Do you know when the ETA might be for that? Or we're talking a couple of days, a week, something like that?
I have no idea, but I think that you're making a really bad decision telling her not to pitch because.
No, I'm saying I'm going to pitch.
Yeah, but tell her to log in and pitch. No, I'm just going to do the pitch. Yeah, but she should log in and pitch too. Like that ain't a smart reason to have her not pitch it because of a technical reason. Let her log into her account and send the pitches.
Okay.
The pitches got to get sent. Like
yeah.
No. Well, the software, the emails still go out. As long as the emails go out, they should be going out. Right. So Lethea, I appreciate you hopping in. For those that don't know, Lethea is the president of the Black National Speakers Association. It's the largest chapter of the National Speakers Association. And so she's over that. And
thank you for the shout out.
So those who may be thinking about joining NSA, you'll probably hear a lot from Lethea. And how are you?
Doing good.
Wait.
Doing good. Just trying to get caught up.
There it is. I was about to say before you turned on the camera, I bet $100 she got on red.
Yeah, just trying to get caught up. How can
we help you?
Oh no, no. I just showed up today. That's my caught
Okay.
up for right
Oh
now.
no, that's cool. That's all good. Well, hey man, we got to get you sending some pictures. Janika got booked on what 8 podcasts so far this week. You know, from the pictures she's been sending, we had some other people that hopped in today with success reports, which is good.
Yeah,
So
I
this,
do have a question though. When I first came on before, we talked briefly about done for you. So can somebody talk to me about that? Because I'm going to be leaving on a cruise on the 7th and I'm going to be gone for about 5 or 6 months. So I really want to, I'm finishing up my retreat this week and I really want to, before I go for the next 30 plus days, put a lot of energy on this. And the best way to do that is possibly with the done for you.
yeah, let's set up a time. I'll walk you through it.
Okay, perfect.
Yep,
Thank you.
no problem at all.
All right,
Malachi,
thanks.
how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Malachi is Nicole Van Valen's twin brother. They look just alike. I don't know if you ever seen Nicole. They are like, you know, Nicole is Malachi with long hair, but I don't know if they're even related, but they look alike. I told him the other day. Malachi,
Yeah, that's my aunt right
anything
there.
I can help you with before we end for the day?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. So when we were trying to do the pitching, we wanted to use her email signature, and she made it in a template, but I don't think the templates transfer when you have like a team account versus a regular one. So we are wondering if
Yeah.
anything could
So
be.
here's one of the problems with with her email signature that she created with
Mhm.
all the photos and everything. It importing
Yeah.
those photos causes a problem with the AI writer, right? So
Okay.
we want her to just use the base template. Can you share your screen? The base signature?
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
she had copied and pasted a signature in there, and it was causing some bug that wouldn't let the email generate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me.
So we had turned that off for her the other day. But if you can share your screen, I'll see what's happening.
Yep, cut it up now.
And go ahead and go to branding kit on the left
Mm-hmm.
and go to my brand, right? And scroll down.
Yeah.
Yep. So yep, all of the signatures and everything are gonna come from her account, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, because you're pitching on her behalf. So let's go to pitches on the left
Mm-hmm.
and let's go to one that's waiting up there at the top
Yeah.
and just go ahead and click continue. And I want to see what comes up at the bottom. It should show her.
Yeah, I never
Yep, it's
showed
coming
up.
from Nicole at Keen Insights, which is good. And scroll up a bit.
Mhm.
So it's
So
not putting one in there. Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead and click the X button there
Okay.
and go to branding kit again and my brand. And go ahead and scroll down. Branding information editing is disabled. Yep. Email signature. And had she selected a signature on her side?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. No, this is good to see because I haven't ran into this before. So, Van Valen. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, it's there. And for some reason, it's not showing up. And can you share your screen one more time? Oh, you're still there. Can you hit refresh at the top?
Mm-hmm.
And go back to branding kit and then my brand and scroll down.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Yep.
There you go.
So you should be good now. So go back to pitches and go to waiting and hit generate.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it just hadn't been saved. It was selected, but it wasn't saved. So I just went into our account and saved it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much.
Yep. All good. Anything else?
Yeah, we did have another kind of like query, I guess, a question slash
Yeah, this is what we do.
suggestion.
This is what these meetings are about, to answer questions and get bugs fixed. So we're doing exactly what we signed up for. What's up?
Awesome. So we were thinking with like podcasts and stuff. We were wondering if there was a way perhaps to see like the average viewer count for the podcast, or if that's something we just have to do, like research on the side.
Yeah, so we haven't found a reliable data source that could give that information, right? Every data source that I've
Okay.
used for that, they were all lying. And here's the reason why, because every
Okay.
podcast is individually hosted. Do you see what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like that's like asking, if you ask me, Ron, how many people come to how many customers you got? No, nobody know but me. Nobody on my team even knows because they don't have access to see
Yeah,
it,
true.
right? So each podcast is
Yeah.
individually hosted. So the only people who know is the podcast host, unless they made that information public. When you look on Raphonic or Listen Notes or any of these other podcast play, they guessing. They have no clue. They are guessing. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah,
let
for
me give you
sure.
an example. Imagine if I'm on Spotify and I'm on Spreaker and I'm on Apple Podcast, but then
Mm-hmm.
I got a YouTube channel and I don't list it on YouTube as a podcast. None of
Mm-hmm.
those YouTube views even count.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah, I think I get where you're
so
coming from.
instead of giving you something, an estimate, we would rather give you nothing and just say
Yeah.
go on more podcasts. Because if you can't perform in a room full of 100 people listening on a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't gonna matter if it's 10,000 people. The average podcast gets 1,221 views. Go ahead and type that in the top there. So click in your search. If you open up another tab on your
Mm-hmm.
Safari, open up another tab there. And then type in average downloads per podcast. Right?
Yeah.
The average podcast gets 421 downloads per episode. You see that up at the top? In
Mm-hmm.
the AI, that's on average overall. But if it's a top 5% podcast, 1,120.
Wow, yeah.
Right? Most people have never spoken in a room that large. I know Nicole has done some bigger things, but what I'm saying is, what other way can you get in front of 1,000 people with what you talk about without leaving your house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's good either way.
Yeah, it's just get on more. Lisa Nichols went on 2,400 podcasts.
Wow.
I guarantee you, all of them did have 50 million. They all weren't Joe Rogans.
For real.
Right? You just got to keep going. You just got to go and get better. You know, Tony Robbins did 250 podcast interviews 60 days before the release of his book last January.
Yeah, smart
Just got to
thinking.
go. The more, the better. Makes
For
sense?
sure, for sure.
So the
Yeah.
issue is
Awesome.
we
Thank you
tried
so
it. We say,
much.
oh, I want to, this to everyone else, not to you, Malachi, but I'm making the point based on what you were talking about. So I don't want you to think I'm picking on you or Nicole.
You're all good.
If I had a choice between going on Oprah Winfrey, that's going to get me in front of, at her peak was like 5 million people watched every day. Or if I could get on a call with 500 speakers, I would pick the 500 speakers every time. Because Oprah is only I got to be entertaining to 5 million people that may not be interested in what I'm talking about. Does that make sense? And then she's only going to give me
Mm-hmm.
3 seconds or 3 minutes to talk about something, like on Good Morning America. But on a podcast that's for
Yeah,
my
true.
audience, that's got my people, give me that every day. Joe Rogan probably wouldn't be a good podcast for me at this point, because I'm still trying to talk directly to speakers. His audience ain't interested in public speaking. So he would take me off talking about a whole bunch of other crap that I don't want to talk about. You see the value? So, that's my perspective on it. But we just can't show unreliable data.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But feel free to go look up a podcast on any of those other platforms. I'll give them to you. They lying, but you can go look it up. I mean, they have no way to do it.
That's true. Yeah, we didn't even think about that, like how the mechanics would be. But yeah, thank you for the insight.
So Ron, that CRM platform that you showed, will we have access to that? Is that how our stuff will be tracked?
Watch this. Wait, hold on. Wait, 1 second. Let me pull this back up. Look at this. I just asked Google, is podcast download data accurate? No, because it doesn't reflect how many people actually listened. Make sense? I got 55 podcasts I listen to that are on automatic download. I ain't listening to all 55. I got a business to run, but it counted as a download for that group. So we can try to give it. I'm just trying to prove the point that these companies that tell you these numbers, they're lying. Make sense? Cool. All right. What was your question again, Bart?
That CRM platform that you showed, will we have access to that? Is that something we get separately, or?
Yeah. That's part of what you would be signing up for. You get access to this. Your speaker launch gets you access to this 4 billion podcasts, 209,000 associations, 170,000 media outlets, and 45,000 conferences.
I was referring to that other one. Maybe that's something that's internal to SpeakerHUB, where the young lady was on here, where you're showing her numbers. She was talking about the pitches.
Talking about Milkshake.
Yeah.
Oh no, Milkshake, that's our done for you. That's when we do it for people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's the same data. We just take the data out of the database here and put it over there. And since we're doing it, we were running, I think we had 300 customers last year, and it was done by 2 people because it's automated. Right. So we were doing an automated outreach at that point because we didn't have AI at the time. This whole AI thing is new. We just turned this on in January. So beforehand, we had no AI. We had to write templates and automate a lot of things in order to help as many people as we could. But yeah, you don't need Milkshake. This does the same thing. Just send your 20 to 30 a day and you're good.
And will it track the lead? Well, I see leads, so I guess it does. Tracks the wins and all that as well.
Yep. So when you come in, when you send a pitch, your response is going to come directly back into your email account. Okay. When you get that response and you come back over here, you can see the ones that you sent. And we ask you a very simple question. Did you get a response? Right. And if you hit yes, it's going to move it automatically. You notice it's not in sent anymore. Now it's in reply. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you can track them manually in order to make sure your inbox doesn't get too booked up. And then once it's booked, it says, did you get booked? And you can say yes or no, and it'll move it to where it should be.
Got it. Thank you.
Make sense?
Yep. Thank you.
So let me show you all something. I want to show you all something. In 2000, when I was a financial advisor, before there was all this huge computer stuff, I always laugh because I remember where I started. And this is what I started with. This was my first CRM. It was called the One Card System by Al Granum. And it was index cards that I had to cut on a monthly basis when I got them and write the notes on the index card in a shoebox, right? And I think this thing is $400 for this. Let's see. Let me see how much they selling this for. The productivity, the one card system starter kit, order now. They ain't selling it no more, I guess. But this thing was like $400 for the notebook alone was $100. They charged me $400 for a shoebox and some index cards, right? And then I'd be hearing people, man, your thing $50. I'm like, dude, let me send you this shoebox of crap I used to have to use, right? Because we just too spoiled, man. No, I'm joking, but you get the point. Like, we've come a long way from this, right? In our ability to be more efficient. And I found out, the reason why I use this? Because I wanted to win. And if they had something better, I would have used that. But if this is the only thing that was available to me, my winning was more important than my tool. Right? So we can go back to this, guys. No, I'm just kidding. We're not. But just to show you, this is what I'm used to. So I'm amazed by anything we can build that works with AI and it's writing pitches and it's putting things over here. I'm like, I remember having to sit there with them cards and you every time you talk to them, you put a hole in it, you write some notes. What you're like, man. But this box led me to having 8 Allstate agencies. Right? That box led me to running 300 farmers insurance offices. Because the tool was, my desire to win was more important than the tool I was using. Make sense?
Yep. I have Pipedrive now.
Oh, Pipedrive is dope. If you look at the BCC on Pipedrive, if you want everything that you send from us to be sent over into Pipedrive, we can automatically have it carbon copied to create that contact over in Pipedrive for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can show you. BCC Pipedrive. Smart BCC, right? You see this? With BCC, you can manually forward individual email threads from your email provider into your Pipedrive inbox. You see that there? Yeah. In order to set that up, all you do is, let me log back in. All you do is you go to settings here in admin, and under email, you're going to see this. You put in the email address that Pipedrive gives to you. It works like that for every CRM. Every CRM has smart BCC. So you can I want to put them in my thing. You ain't got to download nothing. Put this in there. Everyone you send will be put into your thing on your own. Got it? Cool. Well, guys, I got to hop off because I got another meeting in 10 minutes and I haven't eaten. So any other questions for me before I go? This has been good. This has been a great meeting.
No, thank you.
No. All right, and I'll see you later. Janika, good to see you. Bart, let me know if you have any questions or any other issues with the links.
Okay, I will.
All righty. Talk to you later, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.